Hi everybody, let's talk about Ravenstein's law of migration. So he has 11 laws over here. The first one is most migrants move short distances, linking back to the idea of distance decay, where the larger your distance between your source and the destination, the less migrants there are because there's lack of knowledge, there's lack of contact, and therefore you're less likely to migrate large distances. Migration occurs in steps, so links to the idea of step migration, because taking one large move from a small settlement to a large settlement requires a lot of money, a lot of cost as well. So generally, you take steps up the urban hierarchy to save out some money, learn some new skills, and therefore you're only then able to move to large cities and afford the cost there. Migrants who move far tend to move to urban areas. So if you're taking one initial move from one area over here to a very far away area, you generally tend to move to urban areas rather than surrounding rural areas because you're unaware of the opportunities in the rural areas, and there's more security knowing that you will generally have services and other stuff, also a lot of livelihood in those urban areas, and therefore you tend to move to urban areas than rural areas if you do migrate further distances. Each migration induces a counter stream, so when you have migration from point A to point B, it will induce a counter stream from point B to point A, but not in the same volume. Not generally in the same volume. It can be differences. Rural dwellers migrate more than urbanites. So generally urbanites in urban areas, they are more satisfactory with their own lifestyle. They have probably higher wages than rural areas, and therefore they do not really have the motivation to migrate. Whereas rural dwellers, people in rural areas, they have more of the motivation, more push factors, more pull factors to think about and therefore migrate. So they're more migratory than urbanites. Females are more migratory within the country, so they migrate internally more because of domestic reasons, maybe marriages, maybe some domestic care jobs or something, and males are more likely to migrate long distances because they're the ones who generally culturally take the risk and migrate long distances. Most migrants are adults. This is generally true. Most you don't find as many people migrating when they're young because they don't have a choice, they don't have financial freedom, and old people, they lack mobility, so most migrants are adults. Number 8, large towns go more through migration than natural increase. So in large towns, the cost of living is high. There's a lot of issues which bring down your fertility, so your natural increase is low, and therefore most of the growth of your town is through migration. Migration increases with economic development. So the more developed you are, the more services you have, better healthcare you have, better quality jobs you have, higher pay you have. That all increases your pull factors, and therefore you get more migration into your destination. Most migration is rural to urban. So the general trend is rural to urban, linking back to this idea, rural dwellers migrate more than urbanites. And lastly, economic reasons dominate. So most of the migration throughout the world right now is generally because of economic reasons, for jobs, for higher pay, for greater job opportunities, for training, and therefore economic reasons dominate in comparison to maybe educational or social, maybe cultural reasons. So this sums up Ravenstein's law of migration. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.